Hey, it's BT with Tales from a Gemini. My guest today is 13-year-old Wunderkid from the United States, Leo Guimaraes. I know, I interviewed him and I still can't get his name right. Anyway, he's an American road racer racing over in Spain right now in the ESBK Moto4 Spanish Championships. His kid's got the world right here. He's got a great network with his family. And he's going to set the world on fire. I know he is, and he's got the greatest hair in the business from F1 all the way on to MotoGP. His kid's got the locks, he's got the smile, and he's got the talent. You're going to love this interview. Listen to my buddy Leo Guimaraes. I get this name right? I'm hoping so. Audio coming through? Audio's good? Okay. Get the time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Hey, it's BT with Tales from a Gemini, and my guest today, I am so happy because I feel like when it comes to American road racing, there's a lot of guys over in Europe right now who are putting that work in, and my guest today, not only is he putting in the work, I think he has the best hair of anybody on the grid. I'm starting from MotoGP all the way down. Nobody's hair is as great as my guest today, and my guest today is Leonidas Guimaraes. Guimaraes. I'm trying. I know your mom's got to be shaking her head, but Mom, I'm trying. How are you, buddy? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for being my guest. I stumbled across you on Instagram, and I said, you know what? I saw the hair. I saw that you rode motorcycles, and I saw how dedicated you were, and I said, I got to get this guy on my show. So thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate that. And I looked up, you were in South Florida, and I didn't realize you started racing at 5 years old.
Yeah.
How does that work? When I was 5, I could barely walk and not poop in my pants. How are you racing at 5?
Well, I started riding at 3 in motocross. And so I couldn't even touch the floor. We had like these big training wheels on the bike.
Training wheels on a motocross bike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, now how did you know you wanted to ride motorcycles at that young of age? Like, because at 3, no offense, but at 2 and 3, I didn't know what I want to do. And how did you go, that's what I want to do at 3?
Well, my dad introduced it to me. And before I even started riding, I really liked being on the motorcycle. I used to love my dad's 600 that he had.
At 3?
Yeah. No, like younger.
Younger.
And I used to have like a little toy motorcycle that I used to like ride around.
Okay. And that just kind of gradually grew?
Yeah.
Mike, honestly, I think that is nothing short of incredible because, I mean, everybody takes their kid and puts him on the bike and gives it a little rev and, the kids enjoy it and they go, hey, my dad's riding, so I'm going to ride. But then they eventually grow out of it and get in the G.I. Joe. Like, what was it that made you stick with motorcycles?
Well, I really enjoyed it a lot.
Uh-huh.
And I started taking it seriously. And then when I got to Moto America, it was like, I'm really going to do it. It was like, I was set on doing it.
Now you grew up in, is it South Florida, right?
Yeah.
Well, Miami or where?
Hollywood.
Oh, you're already Hollywood. You're already Hollywood. So there you go. You got the hair. He's growing up in Hollywood, Florida. This kid is Hollywood. You realize with your hair, you got a great smile and you got goals. Man, let me tell you something. You're about to be a superstar.
Thank you.
Look, I love it already. Okay. So you start racing at 5 years old.
Yes.
Your first race. Now, were you scared or do you even remember how what emotions you had that first race?
Well, I wasn't scared. I was having a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.
I think I was a little bit scared when some of the kids would pass me.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I was very, very happy.
Okay. Now I know your mom is standing right off of a camera angle, but I want to ask your mom. Mom, how did you feel on his first race? Were you nervous? What were you? I want to see Mama coming here. I like it when the parents are there, which is what I love actually. So, Mama, seeing your beautiful little boy race motorcycles, what was your first emotion?
Well, for me, it was exciting because I knew that that's what he wanted to do.
Uh huh.
I think I was more scared when I first saw him without the training wheels on a motorcycle. He wasn't racing. I think my heart just came out of my chest because he couldn't even brake. And his dad would just, catch him. And I would say, stop, because he's going to kill himself. And he would just laugh with his dad and have so much fun. So when the racing started at 5, I was kind of prepared. I think I went through the initial scare.
Yeah.
And yeah, so as long as he knew how to brake, then I felt better, you know.
Well, you know what?
So
I feel like I'm in between here because I feel like I know the emotion that the mom is feeling because that's your baby right there. I mean, that's where I mean, I don't think kids, especially when I was younger, you don't know what a parent goes through because they love you so much, but they also want to see you happy. But as a kid, you're just doing what you want to do and you're having fun. You don't realize what they go through. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle because where you are, Leo, that's where I always wanted to be. So you're kind of like my hero. Honestly, all the people I talk to on this wonderful podcast, they're where I want to be. So I'm talking to you with a little bit of, I'm envious, but I'm also happy for you. And with the mom, I totally understand, but I respect you so much because to watch your son go through this dangerous sport, but knowing that's what makes him happy, I give both of you so much credit. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
oh, thank you. I mean, it's just one of those things that I know that if Leo doesn't do it, he gets sad. It's just really his identity. It's a part of him. And even though like now when he's racing here abroad, um maybe like 20 minutes before he's gonna go out of the box,
Mm-hmm.
I'm already filled with emotions because I don't know what's gonna happen. Races are so unpredictable.
Right.
And what I do is I just, talk to him, give him a lot of um, confidence. I tell him you're going to do great because he trains so much for it. And just to give it his very best, regardless of the results, he knows that we're proud of him.
Mm-hmm.
But 20 minutes before that race, I'm going to be honest with you, I leave. I leave him with the mechanics because I'm just, nervous and I don't want to give him that vibe. So I leave and I go to, like where people sit down and I just watch him from afar and I let him concentrate and just get into that moment. So
I,
it's just little ritual I do.
no, I think it's beautiful. And I love that you have the wherewithal to go, okay, I don't want him to see me
Yeah.
nervous because I mean that's like I said, that's your boy, but he's got to get in his headspace. So I think that's so just clairvoyant of you to realize that. So I love that. I love that. Now,
And
what made you, Leo, decide to go road racing instead of motocross?
well, I think I didn't really like how bumpy motocross was. And motocross was a lot harder for me. So I'm like, oh, road racing is better.
No,
Like I liked it more.
no, like you say, bumpy.
And I like the speed too.
Did you have a hard time controlling the bike on motocross?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, controlling the bike.
But you say that, but I see you doing motocross in your off-season training.
Oh yeah, I do motocross. Like I like it more now because now I can actually control the bike. I can brake. And well, I'm also stronger
Okay.
too.
And let me tell you something. It's a true story. Now, I knew I was talking to you today, so you know what I did? I went to your Instagram account. I saw your exercises, and I did the medicine ball because of you. I did the balance.
Ah,
I did the balancing thing because of you. And let me tell you something. If you're out there, follow this guy on Instagram and try to do his exercises. And if you're anything old, I'm not old, but if you're anything older than 23 or 24 and you're not a professional, you will respect this kid that much more, because I was trying to balance myself and I was about to fall. So I respect what you do, buddy. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. So after that first race, were you dead set on, this is what I want to do for a living?
Well, after that first race, not really. I just thought it was really, really fun.
Uh-huh.
But it was after we started traveling to out of the state, like getting to the states that are up north,
Uh-huh.
to the tracks that are like really up there in the north. I think we went to Wisconsin.
Okay.
I forgot what it was called. What was it? I think it was Philadelphia, but it was really after Moto America. Yeah, it was Moto America. After Moto America, I was really set on it.
Okay. Now, what made you think, or what made you realize that you had a little talent? Because, I mean, I know sometimes you guys are really humble. All racers are really humble, but there comes a time when you have to say to yourself, you might not say it out loud, like, hey, I'm kind of better than all the other guys, or I have something a little different. So what made you realize, or what point was it where you go, I think I got something here. I think I'm a little bit above these guys?
Well, a lot of the trainers would say that I learn really, really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the champions like Marc Marquez, Valentino Rossi,
mm-hmm.
they can learn very quickly. So a lot of trainers wanted to train me because of that.
And so now did you grow up watching MotoGP or Supercross or anything, and that's what kind of I don't know, made you more passionate about the sport? Or, I mean, which came first, you riding or watching it on TV?
I think watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Watching MotoGP. MotoGP, I saw all the racers. But when I started, I didn't really watch it. So it was kind of after I got into the sport, I started watching MotoGP.
So actually, you start riding before you start watching.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, honestly, in a way, that's even more respectable, because you were into it before you even saw the professionals do it.
Yeah, my dad had already seen it.
Okay.
So he found the organization to do it.
Uh-huh.
He was thinking that to bring me into it, maybe I could be the champions of there,
Now, when you start watching MotoGP, what riders stuck out in your mind where you go, oh my God, that's my favorite, or for some reason, that's the guy I want to be like?
Valentino Rossi, I saw, I'm like, I want to be like him, and Marc Marquez too.
What was it about those two that made you go, oh, that's who I want to be like? What made you want to emulate them?
So I wanted to emulate them because I wanted to be like them.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to win. I wanted to go at high speeds, save the slide a little bit,
Yeah. I like that. I like that. So you had a little competitive spirit even at a young age. Well, young age, he's only 13. I'm going at a young age. He's only 13. But I think that's great though. So you were attracted to them because they were at the top of their sport and they knew how to race. And is that why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I had to pick, who'd you like better, Rossi or Marquez, if you had to pick?
Well, I think Marquez, because he won all the races. All the races.
Well, you got to realize that before Marquez, there's a guy named Rossi, and Rossi used to win all the races,
Yeah, all the races too. But I think Marc Marquez was incredible because when he got into MotoGP, he was just winning.
Well, I remember Marquez when he was He was a little bit older than you, but I remember watching Marquez when he was in a category called 125s, even before Moto 3. I don't think you were born then. Before 103, before Moto 3, there was 125s, and I saw him winning there, and I said, this guy's going to be good. And you can always tell. And he went through so much, and what you got to do in the beginning, at least with him, he crashed a lot. But you could tell he had that, you could tell he had it in him. And so
Oh yeah.
once he figured it out, he became, and I remember watching an announcer goes, once he figures it out and once he starts to win his first race, it's going to be over. And basically that's what happened. So is that what's going to happen to you?
Oh yeah.
Is that what's going to happen to you?
Yeah. Win my first race and then all of them.
Okay. Now, why road racing? And when you watched it, why did you like road racing better than motocross? I mean, when you're watching.
Well, I really like high speeds. And motocross, I never really liked the jumps.
Yeah.
I thought they were always scary.
Yes. You know what? I ride motocross too, believe it or not. I know it can't tell because I look all fat on his TV. But I do motocross also. And let me tell you something. The lip of a jump is probably the scariest thing you'll ever see. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're facing it like this and there's this one jump, and I mean this, I used to ride around it. And I would go to bed thinking about that jump at night, and I go, and I thought about it all week. Like, I'm gonna do this jump, and I jumped. And if you see it from the side, I swear it's only about this big. But when you face that lip, don't laugh at me. But when you saw that lip, the lip of the jump scared me. But the whole jump was about this big, and it took me a month to do it. So I know exactly what you mean. I know. So
yeah, when I do it, I just go and do it. Like, I go, but I don't go with full gas. I go, and then when I get up onto the jump, I let go of the gas so I don't jump as high.
I love it, because I was going to ask you, when's the last time you were ever scared riding? I mean, have you ever been scared? Because I know when you're my age and you look at people like you, I look at you like, kids never get scared. But was there ever a time when you went, oh boy?
Well, when riders crash in front of you and it's in a pack,
yeah,
someone can get run over,
mm-hmm.
and there's always that one person that falls in the first turn,
right?
And it's scary because you think you might run them over, or somebody else might run them over.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Because it's always the beginning of the race. It's always pretty much the whole shot. That's the scariest of a race. I mean, that first turn, because everybody's trying to jockey for positions, and that first turn can be wow, you know?
Yeah, I got stuck in a pack and almost ran over a kid's foot during the race. And another bike, it was because they put it was like almost the same bike except with different engines. The faster bike, the SP2, I was riding an SP1. One of the SP2s like hit the back tire of the SP1's front tire. Like, okay, sorry. So the SP2 went like that, like boom, right onto the SP1's front tire. Okay. Like that. And the kid, I don't know if it was like a high side almost. High side, low side. I'm not really sure. But he fell like right in the middle of the turn. Oh. It was like right in the middle because it's a left and then right.
Was that scary?
Yeah, I think to the kid, yes, very much. To me, it was kind of scary, but also I'm like, I have to go take advantage and get up front.
Oh, I love that mentality. That's the mentality of a racer already. Like who got you that mentality? I mean, don't get me wrong, you're born competitive. I mean, I could tell, but who is training your brain mentally to be that way? To what? Because you're talking like a veteran now. So who got you that way mentally?
I think my mom, because she shows me a whole bunch of like videos of like great basketball players.
Like Michael Jordan? Like Michael Jordan?
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
Okay.
And so she shows me the quotes, and they're like,
Yes, because your mom controls your Instagram, and I can tell there's all nothing but good quotes on your Instagram. And I go, no offense to you, I go, this kid's not writing this. I go, I think his mom is. Don't get me wrong, but it's great though, and I applaud your mother. I love your mother. I applaud your mother what she does because the more positivity you put in that brain, and you feed good stuff in your brain, nothing but good's gonna come out. So what your mom's doing, what she's doing is your brain is a garden. And your mom is cultivating that garden with nothing but positivity, and she's sprinkling it with just nothing but just positivity. And I think it's great. So props to you, Mom. I know you're listening. So props to you, Mother.
oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm right here.
I know you are. Were you ever an athlete also, Mom?
Huh?
Were you ever an athlete yourself?
No, actually, I wasn't very good at sports. It's his dad that was more athletic. So, yeah, but I support my son being an athlete. I was more intellectual. You know, I'm a school teacher. I love reading, and so I was more on, the just learning part. I'm not more like the physical
Well,
muscle.
Well, basically, you guys are producing the ultimate super kid because the kid has got the looks. Look, I said, look at his hair. This guy, I'm jealous. I like my hair. I mean, I'm bald headed. I love my hair, but he's got the locks. What? And I was telling my producer, and I was telling the sound guy, if I was a little girl and I saw this guy racing by me on a motorcycle, racing, and his locks were coming out from under his helmet, I'd be like, Mama, who is that boy on the motorcycle? That's what I would say. So if your dad was an athlete and he's got that covered, and then your mom's got the cerebral part going, you're almost unstoppable. Do you realize that? You're almost a Dr. Frankenstein experiment because he's got everything. He's got the looks. He's going to get endorsements. Look at his face. You can't help but get endorsements from this kid. He's got the hair. His mom's going to get the cerebral part like, listen, you're a champion. And every day she's going to be sprinkling that in his head. And his dad's got the athleticism. You're almost unstoppable right now, Leo.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
No,
Thank you.
but I think it's a truth. Now, what sport did his dad play? What sport did his dad play?
Oh, his dad did soccer, tennis. He even rode some motorcycles. I mean, his dad is like all over, like an athlete, but he never really had like, I would say a focus.
Okay.
Like Leo, early on, we knew that he was just focused on one thing. He was really passionate, and I could say obsessed, because if he didn't do motorcycles, he would get sad. And I just found that was different from other children. So I was like, you know what? I think my son really wants this. I really think that he can do it because in his mind, he's strong. He wants it that bad. So let's put all our energy and help him out and support him. So I think that's one of the biggest things with athletes is that you really have to have your family support you because it's very time consuming. It's very expensive.
Yes.
And you've got to sacrifice a lot of time, to make it happen. So Leo puts in the work. I just push him, and I keep telling him he can do it. And that's what we do.
Leo, you got to realize not every kid has this at their disposal. And I've seen the good and the bad. I've seen the bad to where the kid is being pushed to the point of like, it's kind of like, oh, it's kind of like cringeworthy. And I'm seeing from you the good part, the fact that you want it, but the wherewithal, knowing that your parents want you to want it like you do, and they're doing everything in their power for you to do it, but you also have the physical from your dad, because when your athletic genes are passed down, okay, that's something that you can't really replicate. I mean, you can try your best, but when your dad has the athleticism passed down to you, and what your mom, and everybody loves their moms. Moms are there to go, I want my son to be happy. And so she's there supporting you. Even now, she's here to make sure I don't ask you anything nefarious. So she's there just to make sure. So do you realize how great you have it right now?
Yeah.
I mean, so what you have now is it's almost a dream because you have the home network, so you're happy, and now you can go out and you can chase your dream. And I don't know if you realize it now, but the older you get, you're gonna look back and go, "I got the greatest life in the world right now."
Yeah. Well, I'm really happy. I feel like I got the greatest kid in the world. And yeah, Leo, he always makes us proud. So
Well,
anything that he accomplishes, I'm gonna be happy. Whether he gets to MotoGP, SBK, super bikes, whatever it is, as long as he is doing what he loves to do, we're gonna fully 100% plus support him and just be there for him in the good and the bad,
well,
because racing is like that.
Well, let me tell you something. Even if you didn't, I'm going to adopt this kid. I'm going to tell you right now. If you decide to leave him right now, and Leo, you're like, what am I going to do? I would come over there right now, and you'd be my new stepson. And I mean that. I would adopt you.
Aw,
And
thank you.
I really mean it. I love this kid already. I think he's great. So right now, I want to ask, when did you decide, like, hey, I'm not getting from this sport here in America what I want to get? And when you decide to make the leap over to, you're in Italy now, right?
Yeah, no. We're in Spain.
Where in Spain are you?
Like Alicante.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm not going to follow you. I just want to ask where you're. Okay, you're in Alicante. Okay. Okay, so when did you decide to make the leap to Europe? Because, I mean, it's almost like if you want to be like I said, iron sharpens iron. So you got to go where the best are. So if you want
Yeah.
to swim with the big fish, you got to be with the big fish. So when did you guys decide I got to go over to Europe?
Well, I think it started with the Ovale that we got the Ovale and we're like, we need better training because the training, like we weren't getting good training. We didn't have any trainers. So we went to Italy
Mm-hmm.
and we did the 160. We got really good trainers over there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I think it was a really good experience, honestly. And then after 160, I did the Aprilia RS 250 SP1.
And you're the first, aren't you the first American to podium during
Yeah,
in the 250 class with the CIV Junior Aprilia RS 250? You were the first American to podium.
yeah.
Wow. What, I mean, how did you feel when you found out about that?
Well, I was very happy. I was crying my eyes out when I found out, like, third place.
Oh my God, good for you. Good for you. I mean it from the bottom of my heart, man. I want American road racing to really, really be up there in like the yesteryear, like with Kenny Roberts Jr., Fred Merkel, all those guys. So I'm glad you realize that you are a legend now.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean that. Okay. So this year, you also this is what really made me want for you to be on the show was you just signed up with the Alma Racing Team to race in the ESBK Moto 4 category.
Yes.
So how did that come about?
Well, Moto 4, because we did Aprilia, we needed to come to Spain because the level here is higher. And so when we did, we were thinking originally about Pre-Moto 3, but the trainers were suggesting us Moto 4 because Moto 4, the bike wasn't as fast and powerful, but there were a lot of kids in that category.
Mm-hmm.
So I could battle and, it learned the tracks because it was my first year too. So,
Now, do you look forward to the battle?
yes.
Oh man, I love it. What part of the battle do you like the most?
Well, the passing and going at high speeds.
Now, what do you say your strengths are? What do you do better than anybody else, or you're above level on in your mind? What do you do better?
Well, I think it's learning the tracks really fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So learn. Okay, now how are you on your starts? Are you good on starts? Are you what?
Yes, I'm very good at starts.
Oh, look at you. That was kind of cocky. Yeah, I'm real. I mean, you said it like really quick. Like, yeah, I'm good on starts. Keep going.
A lot of people tell me I'm really good at it.
Okay.
Like really good. I'll be like one time. Actually, the race that I got podium on, I started from last place because the qualifying were rainy.
Uh huh.
And that track was super slippery, and it was my first time on the rain with that bike. And so I jumped from like last place to around the middle. And so from the middle then, like, and then that first turn when someone fell, I would put back a little bit, but I started catching people like boom, boom,
Uh huh.
one after another. And I remember those last few laps where the kid that was, if he was going to, he like, one of them like pushed him off the track. And so he went into the gravel and he saw me coming. I saw it. And he was like trying to get out the gravel as fast as he could. And I passed him. I drafted him because he didn't get the speed out of the corner. Um, but that's how I got my third place.
Oh my god, I love that. Now, are you do you like getting your elbows out when it gets a little, because they say it's really aggressive. From everybody I've talked to who races over there, they said the thing they had to adjust with how aggressive the kids are. Now, are you fine with that?
Yeah.
With no hesitation. Yeah, I mean, it's no big deal for me. Good for you, man. Now, you think that's because of your Brazilian roots?
Mm, what do you mean?
Cause I know you're proud Latino. That's what it said on your biography. I'm not just saying on your biography. So you're Latino. So you think it's that the Latin in you that makes you like, yeah, you're not afraid to be aggressive.
No, no. I think it's just me.
Okay,
I really like it.
good for you.
So like,
Good for you, man. I think that's awesome. I'm so glad. Honestly, it's like you're having a ball over there, man. Are you?
yeah, I'm having a ball.
Now, have you reached out to other Americans? Because I know Kensei Matsudaira is going to be racing in the same category you are this year.
Hmm.
Do you know him?
No.
Okay, he's an American. I had him on the show before. I think you guys will get along. He's a great kid, just like you. His parents are great, just like your mom. I think you guys will get along. But he's going to be in the same category. He's going to be in the Moto 4 category with you. So if you get a chance before the race or whatever, say, hey, how you doing? And then, you battle. But then I think you guys will get along great. So he's going to be another American over there. So I think you're going to like him. Now, I know you had your first 4-hour endurance race. What was that like?
Well, it was for me, I rode for like 2 hours, but I split it into like an hour straight each time, but it was on a pit bike. So it was pretty easy for me.
Yeah, but still, an hour is
Because
an
the pit
hour.
bike, an hour?
An hour is an hour. An hour is a lot. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
for you, no, but for me, yeah. I mean, I got a couple pounds and a couple years on you, but yeah. I mean, so it'd be a little tougher for me, but it was nothing for you.
Well, it was after I get off the track,
Mm-hmm.
I had to like sit down immediately. Because like my body, because when I go on the track,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do long sessions.
Uh-huh.
It's like I go into a zone and I don't get tired. And if the bike starts like cutting out or it starts, or start really feeling it,
Mm-hmm.
then I go into the pit.
Okay.
But like I'll ride as long as I can. And that was my strategy. Ride as long as I could and learn the track.
So how did you guys do overall as a team? How'd you guys do?
We did well, we didn't do that good.
Because
We were like around the bottom.
was it because the other guys?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But it was my first time on that track.
Okay.
And Oh yeah, and the kids on the top
Uh-huh.
were like really, really small. Like I think they were like 8 or something. They were like little kids. And they fly on those bikes because the bikes that we were riding, they were automatic pit bikes, like 110s. So you put gas and it's like, and they're so light,
Yeah.
the bikes.
Uh-huh.
So it's so easy to move them around.
Okay.
And it's also upright. So that makes it even more easy.
But hey, something new is always good though, right?
Oh yeah, something new is always very good. It was a lot of people there, so I improved my passing there a lot.
Now, do you have other Americans over there to I don't know, help you acclimate to, Spanish life, or is it just you and the family?
I think it's just me.
Do you know Christian Daniel Jr.?
Yeah,
Okay. I had him on the show twice. They're really good. They live in Barcelona. I don't know how far that is from you. You know him?
yeah, we know them.
Okay.
We've never actually met them in person,
Okay.
but we know them. Like,
Well, now that I know you, I'll get you in touch when you guys can be like this. I mean, I bring you guys all together. That's what I do. And when we all be
oh yeah.
one big racing family, and that way I can introduce you guys. How about that? Is there anything about the United States that you miss?
Um, the culture. I think because I can speak English everywhere.
Okay.
Here, I can speak English, but it's not as much.
Okay.
I also have my friends over there, my dog, my cat,
Uh-huh.
and family. A lot of family over there too.
Okay. How often do you come back? How often do you come back?
I think like every race season,
Mm-hmm.
I do. So I come back for the race season, and then I go to back to America.
Okay. Do you miss going back to America? I mean, do you miss it?
Yeah, I miss America.
Really?
Yeah,
What do you miss okay, do you like how about food wise? Is it just other than friends, is it food wise? Is it just knowing America? You know how how you don't realize what you have until you're someplace else and go, man, it'd be nice to watch some American Netflix, or it'd be nice to
oh
watch
yeah,
or go, because I know the Spanish life, correct me if I'm wrong, is that everything like they have is it a siesta in the daytime? I mean, like you guys eat later over there, right? You eat dinner later.
yeah.
Like what time do you eat dinner?
Well, dinner. We've always ate dinner like at 9,
Really?
10. Yeah,
Wow. See, I felt bad because it's what, 9 o'clock there, right? It's almost 10 o'clock there.
yeah.
Okay.
We just ate dinner, so
What'd you have for dinner? What'd you have?
pizza.
Is that the food of champions over there? Is that the food of champions?
I don't know.
And who got you pizza? Was it mom?
Dad.
Dad got you pizza. That's a dad. You know, you're supposed to be eating like good quality stuff, like
Oh yeah.
like beans and eating fish and chicken breast and rice, and
Yeah.
you're having pizza.
Yeah. But I do eat a lot of rice and beans and pasta.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a cheat day almost.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, who has the best food, American food or Italian? Because whenever I'm in Europe, I always eat Italian food. So I'm gonna ask
It's
you,
Italian food.
which do you rather, American food or Italian food?
Italian.
Ah,
Italian, the gelato. It's so good. It's like after you eat it,
yeah.
you never want to eat any other ice cream. It's like I come here and like it doesn't taste that good.
Yeah.
Like why?
You know how I could tell it was good? Because you immediately went Italian. You go, gelato. You didn't you? Did he say that? He goes, gelato. Because everything else, you were just saying like this. And I go, what do you like? What's the best Italian food? Gelato. It's a bella. I love it. Man, I'm glad to see you acclimated to the system. Now, take me through a day in your life. Okay, you're going to wake up, and what is a normal day for you, Leo?
Well,
What time do you wake
Monday
up?
I do different things. So like Monday,
Mhm.
I would wake up like at 8
Okay.
like at 8:45, 8:30.
Oh my God, you sleep in
And
late.
then, well, and then I would go to the gym at 9:15
Okay.
on Monday
Uh-huh.
in the morning. And then after that, I would go ride
Okay. How long are you in the gym for? How many? An hour, 35 minutes, 45 minutes? How long are you in the gym for?
40 minutes.
Okay. And then you go ride.
And then I go ride for the rest of the day, like till my bike is broken or till it becomes too cold. Yeah.
And then what?
And then I go home and I do school.
Oh, I was going to ask you any schoolwork involved there, but because you could skip it. I mean, you're in another country. I mean, you're already riding motorcycles. You're already living the life. Why ruin it with school?
Yeah.
So what grade are you in then now? If you in American wise, you be in what, 7th grade?
Yeah, I'm doing remote school, so I am in a virtual school.
Okay.
So I'm in 7th grade and I'm learning American curriculum.
Okay. Now let's just say, I'm not even thinking negative, but let's just say it came to the point where motorcycles weren't in your life. What would you be studying and what would you want to be? And it's hard to
I
believe
would
because you're already like a young kid and you're following your dream. But yeah, if it wasn't for that, what would you be?
I would be a mechanic to fix no, an
Yeah.
engineer to make motorcycles, make better motorcycles.
How would you make them better? How would you make them better?
Well, a 250,
Mhm.
I would try to make it faster, like a faster 250, a 250 that's faster, but it's not like some bikes or sometimes in the races,
Mhm.
sometimes they juice up a bike. So the bike starts going faster, but the bike can also the engine will sometimes blow up the internals.
Okay.
So that happened to one of the kids in the race. I think like the first race, yeah, first race
Mhm.
or the second race. One of the kids, the engine just blew up and there was oil on the second turn,
Oh.
all over the second turn, and so they had to red flag it, and it was just crazy.
What's the worst crash you ever had?
Well, the worst crash I've ever had, I think with a small bike, it was like high sides.
Oh.
I've had a few high sides recently.
Oh. Now, do you know? Can you feel yourself about the high side? Like, this is or
Oh yeah,
really?
yeah, I feel it about to happen, and then it happens. Cause when you're about to happen, and I'm like, I'm in a high side. Like I feel the rear
Yeah.
slide, and
Uh,
then it catches grip, and then it goes like that really quickly, like
oh.
boom, and then I go up into the air.
Does it take your breath away?
No, I can't pick up the bike,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes I land the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I landed on my knees one time, and
Oh.
so it kind of opened my compression suit,
Uh-huh.
and it irritated my skin on my knees, so it was burning almost,
Okay.
but it wasn't hurting. It was just burning. And I stood up. The bike, I couldn't pick it up because like I was already like the impact. I don't know why, but the impact sort of tires you out
Mm-hmm.
trying to just get up from it.
So it kind of
And
takes you,
then I'm
it kind of takes your breath
trying to
away.
pick up the bike.
It kind of takes your
Yeah,
breath away. Okay.
well, sort of, sort of.
Okay. So are you when you're in the air? Like, do you? What's your thought when you're in the air? Like, this is gonna hurt, or I hope I don't land on the track, or what is your thought process while you're in the air?
Well, I really hope that I don't break anything, like nothing happens to me,
Right.
and that um I'm like I hope I hit maybe gravel or something that's not that hard,
Mm-hmm.
but I always for some reason hit the track. And this
Oh.
is on a small track, so there's a gravel track, but the gravel track is more far, so when you slide, it hits it. And this track specifically
Uh-huh.
has like these like walls, but the walls are like they're not walls. They're more like barriers made with hay
Mm-hmm.
and plastic. And they're really soft, well, softish. And the parts that I high side on are more downhill, so there's less grip in the bike. So, and my tires are usually worn out or the wrong pressure in the rear. Yeah.
How you know those things at this age is beyond me. I mean, it's like talking to a grown person. I feel like I'm talking to a grown man here. I mean, seriously. I mean, your knowledge of this is just like, have you already had this knowledge, or did somebody like teach you while you're racing?
Well, they we I kind of like study it, and I learn it
Mm-hmm.
as I'm practicing or during some races.
Mm-hmm.
I learn it. Like I learn the internals of the bike. I kind of know how it works. I watch videos on it just to know how the bike works, the pressures. I have to know all of this because if something happens, I can tell, like, let's say the mechanics or my dad specifically what happens.
That is okay. So okay, now your mechanics, is your team is it a Spanish team or is it a Italian team? Because sometimes there's a language barrier, and they you have to.
Oh, yeah.
So are you? What are your mechanics? Are they Spanish or are they Italian?
Well, I don't know yet,
Okay.
but last year
Uh huh.
I had Italian mechanics.
Now, was it hard to tell them what the bike was doing?
No,
Oh, they knew.
I had already learned the situational language
This guy.
for Italian, so I knew like rumble strip was cordolo or
This kid. I love you. This is great. This kid knows. That is beautiful, man. Just the wherewithal to know that. And what's the Italian word for rumble strip again?
cordolo.
Oh, and after you get that cottura, right, you get some gelato. So okay, so have you met any MotoGP riders while you're training? While you're over there?
No,
For
no.
some reason, I think you should probably meet Frankie Morbidelli.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, he's a great guy, and he's half Brazilian. I really think you like Frankie. Frankie's a really, really good dude. So I'll see if I can get Frankie to meet you. I don't know Frankie. I'm not tight with him like I am with you, but I'll see if I can get Frankie to, whatever. I think you guys would get along great. You both have great hair. I think your hair is better than Frankie's personally. Frankie's got a little curl in it, but I think, like I said, I think you have the best hair in motor racing. I can't think of anybody, and I'm talking all the way from F1 down to ESBK Moto 4. I think you have the best hair in motor racing.
Thank you.
There's nobody better than this kid. Okay, so take me through. I was talking to your mom about how you're getting ready for a race, and she didn't like to be around you. So how do you prepare for a race? Say it's race day. What do you do on race day? How do you prepare?
So I prepare by like warming up, stretching a little bit, like getting myself warmed up, and then putting on my suit, warming up the bike,
Are you
and
superstitious?
going on the free practice.
Are you superstitious when you put your clothes on? Like you have to go with your right boot first or your left boot first?
No, sometimes I'll put my left boot first instead of my right one, or sometimes my right one. And same thing with my gloves. I'll put my left one on and then my right one, or my right one and then my left.
Well, that's good because sometimes you get caught up in superstition sometimes and it messes you up. So you really have basically no superstition at all. You just get ready, you go, you warm up. Now, what's your headspace? What are you thinking in that before a race?
Well, I'm thinking strategies of like really good places to pass, my weak points and where I need to be defensive. Lines, lines, definitely lines, because there are different lines to be going fast and defensive and passing. Well, aggressive lines. So like an aggressive line would be like your break point would be later, much later than the faster. It would definitely slow you down breaking that late because you have to break a lot harder.
Uh-huh.
But you would pass the person. You would go like, like that, right in front of them. And if it's an S, you have to take like the fast line because on the S, you want to get more speed out of the corner. If it's an S and then straight, more speed out of the corner. If it's like a S, turn, then straight, then it should be like try to get them on the second turn of the S. Because if you go past them on the first turn, then they can get you on the second turn of the S. And if it's just a normal turn, outbreaking them would be the best. Or taking a fast line if it's a fast turn. And not playing defensive on like the straight. On not the straight, but not taking a defensive line. If someone's behind you and you're playing defensive and there's a turn that has another straight ahead of it, then you should take the fast line because it would give you more speed coming out of that turn. And it would help you get the advantage because the person behind you is trying to pass you. And if they pass you on that turn, they're slowed down. And so you'll get more speed. Your speed is higher because of that.
And how did you find this out did somebody tell you this or you just find out just by racing?
By racing.
Really?
And my coach also helps me with that.
Okay. When's the last time you got super frustrated where like I'm not getting it today or something like when's the last time you were just really, really frustrated?
Well, it was that race. It was a race. I think the last time I got frustrated was a race called Modena, the track. I'm not exactly what round it was, exactly sure, but I was getting really frustrated because I didn't know how to pass them, and they kept passing me. So I'm like, how am I supposed to pass them? And I saw some of them fall because that track has a lot of cracks and uphills and downhills. It even has like this corkscrew thing. I thought the corkscrew was really, really fun because it was like a downhill.
Yeah.
But you had to like go like that. It was really, really fun.
I could tell. Okay, as racers, we all talk about the red mist. You know, when you get mad, like for whatever reason, somebody makes you mad, and you can't see straight. You get that red mist. Have you ever had the red mist? When did you have it, and who was it?
So it was back in Moto America.
Okay.
When this like one kid, he was super annoying because he was small and he was fast in the straights, but in the turns he was slow. So I was faster than him. I was making faster times. But every time I would get on the turn, he would play a defensive line and I could never pass him. And this other kid too had a problem with that kid. It was just like really, really frustrating.
So what did you do? Like, what did you do? Did you do anything? Did you go? I mean, were you in your head?
I tried passing him.
Yeah.
Multiple times throughout the race, but never really could pass him.
So
he was just really light.
Well, he can't help that. I mean, I thought like maybe some racer did something like nefarious to you. Like maybe they gave you an elbow where you go, wait a minute, that wasn't a racing elbow. That was an elbow that he didn't like me elbow. Like, I mean, was there anybody ever did that to you? Like you go, and you get into the pit and they had to calm you down?
I'm not exactly sure, but I don't really remember it. But my parents saw it. I didn't really think about it. I didn't see it at all.
Remember when he did like that to you?
Oh yeah, in one of the Aprilia races.
Yeah.
A kid went and tapped the back of his thing, the back of his tail, the tail of the bike.
Yeah.
And that's a taunt.
Oh, but are you sure he wasn't saying, "Hey, get behind me, we can catch somebody"? Or
No. That's like a taunt, like you're
oh,
haha, you're behind me.
oh,
type of
oh,
thing.
did you get mad? Did you get mad? Did you? Oh, he got stuck. He got stuck.
Taunted me,
Yeah.
and then I passed him and taunted him back. And then he passed me again and taunted me.
Now, were you laughing or were you going, I'm going to get this kid? I mean, what was
Yeah, I'm gonna get this kid. Yeah.
So when the race was over, did you go, oh, well, wait a minute, who won between you and him? Did you place in front of him?
He won.
Oh.
But I couldn't pass him
Leo.
after that.
Leo. You can't let that happen again, buddy. You can't let that happen again.
Yeah, I didn't let it happen again.
Man, I'm telling you, I love you, man. I think you are going to be great. I know Mom is coaching you over there. I can see it. But I think you're going to be great this year. What are your overall? So here we go. In the next 5 years, you're 13 now. In 5 years, wait, and your birthday wasn't it a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, a week ago, I think.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
I mean it from the bottom. I just remember that. Happy birthday. I was going to say happy birthday to you. What'd you get for your birthday? What'd you get?
I didn't really get anything.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the track. I spent time with family. We ate out. We ate pizza.
And gelato.
Yeah, we got gelato too.
Man, I think honestly, you're living the life, buddy, and you're 13 now. So in 5 years, and I put you at 18 years old, which means you'll be eligible for Moto 3 and 2, I think. So where do you want to be in 5 years? I know it's hard to imagine, but where do you want to be in 5 years? How do you want your life to look like in 5 years from now?
Well, I want to be either in Moto 3 or in Red Bull Rookies.
Yes.
Like around there. Or Red Bull Talent Cup, getting into Moto 3.
Okay. And what else?
Or maybe being in Moto 2 already.
Oh my gosh. If you'll be in Moto 2, man, you really accelerating the curve. But you know what? You can do it, man. You got, like I said, you got Mom feeding you your mentals, and hopefully she's going to be fending off those girls that'll be coming after you. You know, once you start winning in Spain and you got that hair, the girls are going to be coming after you left and right. I want you to stay focused. You understand? I want your mom to buy you some what we call like these blinders. Okay, you're going to look like this. I want your mom to be with you at all times. You understand? I don't want you to be unfocused. I want you to be focused on your goal. Don't let those senoritas, all right, get in your way. You understand?
Yes.
Okay. If I have to, I'll pay your mom to like, Mom, you got to make sure that Leo stays on the right path. So eventually, MotoGP, is that what you want?
Yes, and winning, not just being in MotoGP.
There you go.
Winning in MotoGP, getting podiums. Now,
what if sometimes, in life, the dream gets deferred, where sometimes stuff doesn't happen the way you want, but you eventually get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's just say you had to go, or you had an opportunity in World SBK, but you were still young. Would you take that opportunity?
Yes, I would.
Okay. But
because the company that owns MotoGP is also the company that owns World Superbike. And if I can get into World Superbike, I can transfer from World Superbike to MotoGP. A guy from MotoGP, actually, he went from MotoGP to World Superbike.
Which one are you talking about?
Ika Wona.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, Iker. Yeah, I know him. Yeah, I know them all. I mean, yeah, I know a little bit there, Leo. I mean, I know you're trying to act like you're smarter than me, but I know a little bit. I mean, you might have gotten 13 instead of your birthday, but I know a little bit, buddy. I know a little about this racing stuff. I may not be as talented as you, but I know a little bit about you, buddy. Okay, before we get out of here, man, are you into music at all? Are you into music at all?
Not really.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
not really into music.
I was going. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sometimes I like to listen to maybe I think like a year before this, I for some reason I had an obsession with Doom music.
What's doom music? What is that?
Okay, Doom is a very gory game, but it has like this really good heavy metal songs.
You know what? With your hair, that fits you perfectly. Do you ever do like this when you're alone and do this? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see you going, yeah. You do that. You should. You should. There's a Spanish rock group over there named Los. Hold on. It's a great Spanish rock group. Maybe your mom can find it for you. I'm gonna look it up real quick before we get out of here. Because when I was over in Valencia for the season finale last year, I heard them and I was like, oh, these guys are great. I'm trying to get the artists. They were Lost. Hold on for a second. I'm going to find them for you, Leo. And I want you to listen to them. And I mean, I think they kind of look like you too. They kind of remind me of you and they look like you. So hold on for a second there, buddy. I'm going to find this group for you. Artist Los. Hold on. There we go. Los Zugueros. LOSZIGGARROS. It's LOSZIGARROS. Tell your mom to write that down. And the name of the song is Listos Pero El Despegue. I know I said that wrong, but still, your mama figured it out. Your mom's smart.
Yeah.
And when I heard that song, I just started rock and roll, but that song fits you perfectly. It's weird to say that, but when you listen to that song, you're going to go, yes. And so I think that's going to be your new song.
Vigaros? Okay.
Yes. So look that up, Mom. I know you're listening.
Yeah, thanks.
No, you're welcome. And do you listen to music before you race? Anything at all?
No. I just mainly concentrate
Mm-hmm.
on what I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And I really have to concentrate because if I don't concentrate, my start will maybe be messed up. And the start is the most important thing about the race. Because when you start, you can jump ahead. Or if you're starting in pole,
Mm-hmm.
a start is very important because you can jump even further away from the people behind you. And it give you a greater advantage to what you had before.
Here's something I want to ask you though. Okay, let's just say you were getting ready, for the start. Your goal is the whole shot. Now, if you don't get it for whatever reason, things happen sometimes. That you can't. Say maybe if you flub the start, or maybe somebody cut you off. Does that mess up your mental game, or you have to readjust? How does that work?
No. So if somebody cuts me off,
Mm-hmm.
it's completely fine, and it's just racing. And so I shrug it off. I don't know how to say it, like this. I don't know, and I keep going until I get them. Like I get them, and I zoom away. That's what I want to do. Like get them, and then zoom away to get the next person. That's what I did in the Varano race, the last race that I got podium.
Yeah.
I got a person and then zoomed away to get the other person. It's kind of like that. And then when I got the last person, there was an SP2,
Mm-hmm.
which is the faster bike. The gap was huge already, and I couldn't get them. But at the rate I was going, the times, I should have got second place.
But what happened?
But because I started in last place and that crash, it kind of made space for everyone.
Man, Leo, buddy, you're killing it, man. I'm so glad you gave me the opportunity because what I think, honestly, I just feel like I watch American road racing, but I feel like you're like a diamond in the rough. I feel like there's like 3 or 4 American racers that are over in Europe right now that we need to know about, and you're definitely one of them. So thank you so much to you. Thank you to your wonderful mother. I don't know where your father is, but tell him I said thank you also. Your parents are great. You have the greatest foundation there is because you keep that passion, you keep that smile, and you got the greatest foundation with your parents. You don't know how lucky you are to have great parents behind you, man. You got the world at your disposal right here, buddy. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. You got the greatest network. I wish you nothing but the best this year, man. Anything else you want to say to the people out there?
Thank you so much for doing this interview with me
Yeah.
and giving me this opportunity. Thank you to the people who follow me and support me. Yeah.
Leo, thank you so much. Give me your last name again. How pronounce it again?
Guimaraes.
Guimaraes. Leo Guimaraes. Thank you so much. This year, ESBK Moto 4 Spanish Championship with the Alma Racing Team. Wishing nothing but the best, Leo. Thank you so much for being a guest here on Tales from a Gemini. Thank you, Mama. I appreciate you. I mean that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you guys for watching Tales from a Gemini. And you know how we say about this time. You know the word. Peace.